Hey, it's your old pal Lucid Stu again with another freeway replacement video. This time we're going to use the power of Unreal Engine 5 to remove a section of freeway in Atlanta, Georgia. With a population of 520,000, Atlanta is the 36th largest city in the US. It is the heart of the Atlanta metro area, which is the 8th largest in the country at a population of 6.4 million. Our target for removal in this video is the John Lewis Freedom Parkway. But before we do that, let's take a look at the backstory behind this 1.5 mile freeway stub that was completed in the year 2000. The Federal Highway Act was enacted in 1956 and the country quickly went about expanding its limited access highway network. Urban areas were struggling as the suburbs boomed after the end of World War II, and planners aspired to renew those urban areas by accessing them with freeways. This was not done delicately, and often local communities were plowed under in favor of roads. Out of the cities we've covered so far, most had pretty severe impacts in this regard. Atlanta was no exception. As overbearing as Atlanta's current urban freeway infrastructure is, even more was originally planned. The tide turned in the 60s and 70s as urban groups began to successfully resist these freeways in what has been termed freeway revolts. In Atlanta, those revolts kept extensions of Interstate 675 and US 78 from being built through Atlanta's core. Unfortunately, that did not happen until large swaths of black communities were demolished. Here at the site of the present Jimmy Carter Presidential Library and Museum, 60 acres of the former community was destroyed to make room for a junction of Interstate 285 and Interstate 485 that was never built. These were the battles that built our current approaches to urban expansion that we're now finding restrictive. As we seek to loosen those to facilitate new construction, we should keep in mind what happened when the rules were too loose. The remnants of that and the rights of way of Interstate 285 and 485 can still be seen in the paths of John Lewis Freedom Parkway and Freedom Park. Other than the Presidential Library, nothing much happened with the land until Atlanta was chosen to host the 1996 Olympics. The city then decided to develop the area as a stub freeway / expressway and a park. Interstate 85 thoroughly divides urban Atlanta on a north-south axis, so I took this freeway removal as an opportunity to partially reunite the halves. I've done that by capping half a mile of freeway between the Parkway and Ralph McGill Boulevard and greatly simplifying the junction of the Parkway and Interstate 85. Downtown's commercial core would be able to expand appropriately to the east here by a couple of blocks. New road connections would smooth traffic flow between east and west and detangle the current confusing intersection. In reworking John Lewis Freedom Parkway, which was dedicated to the Georgian senator and civil rights leader, I recognize we're dealing with a sensitive subject, so I've added a tasteful memorial park in the middle of this new interchange in honor of Senator Lewis. From there, I have converted the parkway into a boulevard lined with mixed-use residential of heights and sizes that fit the existing neighborhood. To supplement any traffic capacity lost in the conversion, Atlanta's streetcar system could be extended along this new boulevard, connecting with the current system at either Ellis or Andrew Young. The new development I've placed on the west end of this roadway is of a denser character until reaching an area filled mostly with tightly spaced single-family homes. For this area, I went with boulevard-facing brownstones and small vertical multi-unit structures to keep the neighborhood character but increase the density a notch. On the east end, the area currently hosts a tall communications tower. The roadway requires a ridiculous concrete shed here to protect the vehicles from icicles which fall from the tower guy wires. I've elected to remove this inappropriate structure and replace it with housing. Even more housing can be squeezed in by moving the boulevard southward. There is room here to thoroughly replace the existing park trail biking provisions, although I've not visualized it. Shifting the road south would also free up room for expansion of the 4th Ward Park, which I have used for ball courts. I think that's a nice addition when expanding housing in the area. Here the boulevard would intersect the Atlanta Beltline Trail, which may eventually host a streetcar. This would facilitate a junction of streetcars and a possible station. I have more residential here made possible by simplifying the needlessly complex current intersection. Beyond that, I have our boulevard reconnecting at grade with the parkway at Ralph McGill Boulevard, where the limited access portion of the John Lewis Freedom Parkway currently ends. The parkway then continues on as a tree-lined surface street to Ponce de Leon Avenue 4 blocks north. All of that would potentially facilitate over 3 million square feet of new commercial office space, 1,600 new residential units housing about 3,400 people, and up to 200,000 square feet of retail to service them. So what do you think? Would it be a good idea to convert this partial freeway stub into a more livable boulevard and use that to reconnect east and west? Or should it be left the way it is? Let me know in the comments. Is there a short freeway where you live that could use this treatment? If so, let me know and you might just see a video about it. Next up in the series is our number 9 largest metro area, Philadelphia. Which freeway will I pick? Come back to the Lucids 2 and find out. But that's all for now. Until next time, I'll see you on that big, beautiful freeway.